Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk, brought to you by the Detroit Lions on the Prowl and the Belly Up Sports Network. Today, we're going to talk about a major Detroit Lion rumor about Kenny Golladay. And Kenny Golladay might be franchised or whatever. He might not. We'll see. We're going to talk about the pros and cons and all the stuff that goes around this topic today. But right now, let me bring in my main man, the man of steel himself, Curt Steele.
What up, though? Welcome to the show, people. You know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl, your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. And we're going to cover a lot of news and rumors today. And we're going to have the question of the day, your dessert with your man, Curt. A whole bunch of stuff to cover. Let's get this thing started
right now.
Let's go. Hey, welcome back to the show, people. Now it's time to get into the main course. Kenny Golladay, would he be franchised or not? Jim, what do you have on what the impact will be if we franchise Kenny Golladay?
Well, Kenny Golladay is, per report, is expected to be franchise tagged by the Detroit Lions. Now, this deal will be worth $16 million, and Galladay's market value is estimated around $19 million. So it'll save Detroit $3 million, almost $4 million on this deal, what I've heard. Hopefully allow them to structure a long-term deal with Kenny Golladay. I think if they franchise him, that's the game plan. They're going to want to try to hammer out a long-term deal so that they can backload that contract and make that a little more team-friendly for this year. While the wideout battled injuries for most of the season that led him to a mere 5 games in 2020, he remains one of the most versatile receivers in the NFL. Not only did Golladay lead the league in receiving touchdowns in 2019, but he has shown himself capable of working across the entire field.
Yeah, that's one thing. Let's take a look at his career numbers in Detroit. All right, he was drafted in 2017 in the 3rd round with a 96 overall pick. His rookie year, he caught 28 passes for 477 yards and 3 touchdowns. So he had some very memorable catches in that rookie season, one being the touchdown he caught against the Cardinals in the opening game. In 2018, he caught 70 passes for 1,063 yards, and he had 5 touchdowns. In 2019, which is his best year, he really balled out. 65 catches for 1,190 yards and 11 touchdowns, which led the league in receiving touchdowns. Now, we know he missed 2020 due to injury. He only played 5 games. He only caught 20 passes for 330 yards and 2 touchdowns. But he had some memorable catches as well in the season. One of the biggest ones coming against Atlanta, where he really solidified his position as, one of the best to catch balls in traffic.
Yeah, if Kenny was to hit the open market now, there's no doubt that team would pay like the 27-year-old guy, one of the highest paid receivers in the NFL. He would become the highest paid receiver in the NFL more than likely.
Yeah.
The $16 million contract is ranked 13th among annual salaries, if I could speak, for receivers that is fully guaranteed.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, this franchise tag is 1 year. So everybody knows he would be under a 1-year contract. Well, let's get to some other stuff about this move.
Yeah, this move does not necessarily mean the Detroit Lions want Golladay to be part of their long-term plan. They could franchise him and then trade Golladay for draft capital to help continue with the rebuild. If they do want to keep him around, they can offer him a long-term deal in 2022. That's just, I think it's a chess move by the Lions. Like it says, you could franchise him and trade him, but looks like to me, Kenny Golladay has said that he's ready to play for Dan Campbell. He was ready to get back to work. I think there was a love affair that was definitely love was not lost with the Patricia and Quinn era. I think he was definitely did not like playing for Matt Patricia and just the way that the team was going in that direction under that regime. But he seemed to be really fired up when the Lions hired Dan Campbell, and when Campbell was talking about biting off kneecaps, Golladay got fired up.
He was fired up about that. I don't know. I think this says something about the regime going forward. Me and you both talked about the 2021 season being kind of a throwaway year, and
Yeah.
that we would come back and try to, we got rid of this one, we're going to get rid of that one. And I am not so sure now that this is going to be a throwaway year.
Right.
According to Dan Campbell and a bunch of other people, they said they want to compete every year.
Yep.
But if you had a new quarterback, you have to have weapons for that quarterback, and they went ahead and got him a weapon with Kenny Golladay. It shows me that their commitment to, win while they retool and rebuild is something that's very valid, instead of, we're going to let him walk, we're going to let Okora walk, we're going to let a lot of these high price guys go, and then we're just going to pare it down for the rookies and stuff like that, and start our rebuild. They got a quarterback that's serviceable. They have a good running back, a decent offensive line. They need to add a few pieces there. A terrible defense, but you do sign another offensive weapon. So what do you think about that, Curt? What do you think it says about our regime right now?
I think it's like you said about competition. They don't want to just go into the 2021 season just totally avoid of weapons. Right now, like we said, that we have 2 wide receivers under contract, and really unproven commodities. You have the young fella Quintez Cephas, and Geronimo Allison. He was a role player in Green Bay. He was never, a solidified piece of their offense. He was kind of a rotational receiver. So you want to make sure you can have some weapons for Goff coming into Detroit. You just don't want to leave him, with nothing to play around, nothing to play with. You don't want to leave him is empty. So I get with the fact they want to be competitive while they retool and the actual team. I know retool is one of the terms that Brad Holmes used. Dan Campbell said rebuild. So,
but Holmes was very clear about what he was saying.
Yeah.
He said it is not a rebuild; it's a retool. And that's possible. So I'm going to give some positives and negatives on the Kenny Golladay thing for me. Positive, we're keeping our own guy, homegrown talent. We need to be doing that. We need to be taking care of our players and letting them know that we'll take care of them as they grow here in Detroit while we're drafting new people to come here, where we're trying to get free agents here. It's a good move that way. It's a terrible move because we're hurting our own salary cap to get much needed defensive players and stuff like that. But we do have the draft, and there is Cap Magic Disner up there that we're going to call it Disner World. Disney World. He's going to make some magic happen in the kingdom of Detroit, and hopefully we'll be able to get some free agents in here, and maybe even we'll get some more draft picks. Maybe we trade some people and get some more draft capital. But we'll see how it all works out. What do you think about that, Curt? Pros and cons to signing Kenny Golladay.
I like the homegrown talent. I'm a big fan of Kenny Golladay. I think he has a skill set that a lot of receivers don't have, where I know people talk about the fact that he doesn't get a lot of separation, but he doesn't need to get a lot of separation. That's the one thing about Kenny Golladay. He's a big, strong, physical receiver, and definitely gives the Lions options on the goal line, down there in the red zone, where you just don't have to rely on TJ Hockenson. You can have a 2-pronged attack down there. You don't know who to double down there on the goal line, and you can open up space for a DeAndre Swift to catch the ball out of the backfield, because they're so key on stopping Golladay and Hockenson. That opens up the field for other players. So a multi-threat attack down in the goal line in the red zone area is what Kenny Golladay offers the team, with him, Hockenson, and
if you want to finish that at Curtis
DeAndre
Samuel,
Swift.
I'll tell you what. Will you imagine having that with Golladay and Cephas
a multi-head attack you do not want to see down there in the red zone.
I would love to have that. We got. Hey, maybe we're just going to rebuild one thing first. Maybe it's one side of the ball first. Who knows? Or just make that the best thing. And we know the defense is terrible. I think we had that last year. But
Dan Campbell, he's definitely keen on the defense. That's one thing he said in his opening press conference, is that he wants to get better on defense. He said we have some good pieces on offense, but he wasn't impressed with the defense. And that's a signal to the front office to, hey, we need to make sure we show up this defense. Or maybe it's just the fact that he brought in Aaron Glenn and he brought in some good coaches to help those guys that we already have, some of those young foundational players, and we're going to talk about them here real short, like in the news and rumors.
But if this is true, I mean,
Mhm.
you know, if the Kenny Golladay situation is true, we
Mhm.
let Aquara walk and we sign the offensive player. So we lose one of our best defensive players
Mhm.
because we could have re-signed him before this, this unrestricted
Yeah,
free agent.
it was one of those, and we talked about this off camera, off air.
Yeah.
I believe it was the way that Kenny Golladay saw the previous regime. He was not a fan of that Quinn Trisha era.
Yeah, me
Just
neither.
and a lot of Lions players were not fans of that. Even some of the former Patriots that were on the team, come down to it. You hear their comments after they were released. They were like, yeah, whatever. They really weren't like
whatever
they weren't going to bat for those guys,
no.
who had brought them into Detroit. So you look at that situation, and I think that Golladay was like, yeah, I can't mess with it. You know what I'm saying? And look at some of the former Lions that have already spoke out. We already know we can't delve into those names, but it just seems like a breath of fresh air is in Detroit with Dan Campbell and a lot of players that are either unrestricted free agents or restricted free agents on the Lions right now are willing, to come back, and they want to play for him and that regime because they know it's a new day in Detroit.
That's true. And I totally agree with that. We're going to go into the Wall of Fame right now. And who's on that wall but Detroit Drew? We've got Noma's Jay, and we have our man, Dr. Detroit. Shout out to all you guys that are in the membership area. If you want to join the membership, you could just hit the join now button and get all the perks that we offer there. So right now we're going to go into the comment cards and see what you said about yesterday's video. I love this first one. It's from Tornado. And he says, I am from Detroit, moved to El Paso 2 years ago. Well, good for you, because now it's snowing there as well. No, I'm just kidding. That's terrible. Stumbled upon you and enjoy your shows. You two are great. I used to listen to 97.1 The Ticket, but you guys are doing great for my homesickness. Thank you. Well, we really appreciate that.
Not a problem, Tornado. Hey, man, we appreciate you checking us out. We do it for you guys, our family right here on the show. All right, Mike and Chris G. Why would you give me this name again?
After yesterday, I didn't do this.
Real, Moo. I like the height and length and overall size. Wide receivers are getting to be taller. Kenny Golladay is almost average size, which is correct. The years of the cornerbacks being 5'10" or shorter really are quickly going away. That's very true. Cornerbacks are getting taller. They're averaging around 6 feet tall. And those guys are being 5'10", 5'9", are gonna go away because you can't match up with those guys. It's just hard for you to get, you're gonna get boxed out every time if you're playing a receiver that's 6'5", 6'6", like we have guys in the league right now.
Calvin, the Hall of Famer, changed the rules. I
totally
believe that. That's the evolution of football right there. And you look at a guy that's 6'5" but can run right past a corner at that size and that speed. It's something that you train as a football player now since you're really, really young. Whereas before, it was different requirements for a different day. And I think that now you have to be faster and taller as a corner. So the taller people are learning how to run faster, learning how to catch better. I mean, we have bigger athletes right now than we've ever had.
Think about this. LeBron James played wide receiver and tight end in high school. Think about if he would have chose to play football at 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", and you see how fast he is on the basketball court.
Yeah.
Think about how he would have been to try to cover on the football field.
Well, Hawkinson
would have been
little.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
He's a big guy. Jesse James, I think, is 6'5".
Yeah,
and he doesn't do anything, but he kind of there.
But this, I agree with that comment wholeheartedly, Mike and Chris G. Yeah, you're gonna need some bigger corners.
Name again. I don't
know Israel. Yeah, that's his name. All right, who you got next?
I got Mark Snee, and he says Elijah Moore will be gone in the second round. You might be right about that. The NFL draft is a fluid situation, guys. I mean, we're not even 2 months away, I think now. That's
Right.
crazy as it is.
To the NFL draft. Yeah, we're very, very close.
So it's like things are going to change. People are going to fall out of
Mhm.
the top 10. People are going to jump into the top 10. And
Mhm.
you want to go all the way down to rounds 3, 4, and 5. It's
Mhm.
really going to change. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it
there's
is.
every possibility Elijah Moore goes up to the second round. No,
Mhm.
no problem with that statement.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Wally. Woo, man, y'all just killing with these names. Rovala says JJ
Raduvala.
Watt. Rovella. Okay. Hey, I'm sorry if I butchered your name. All right. JJ Watt will land in Green Bay. Most likely, he grew up in Wisconsin and went to Lambeau as a kid to watch Packers practice. You know what though? I would definitely see that happening.
God, I hope
Green
not.
Bay, and just because his wife plays soccer in Chicago. So that puts him closer to her in that Midwestern
I think he
area.
goes to Chicago. I've
You
thought that
think,
ever since this whole thing came out. I think he's going to Chicago.
yeah, it's a possibility if they can get their cap numbers right, and they get rid of some of those tight ends in Chicago, they can.
Yeah, they only have 10 or 11 of them.
Yeah, something like that.
So
in
yeah, this
Chicago.
is Detroit Lions on the Prowl, your home of news and rumors and butchering your names. No, I'm just kidding. This is an easy one. Ted Cheney. They
yeah.
franchise Ansa and Averill. Yes,
Yeah,
we got that information yesterday.
Yeah, they did.
franchise Ansa before
Yeah.
Averill. That was 2018. That's my mistake. But thank you for letting us know, because that's what you're
Yeah.
here for.
Because Averill, they franchised Averill 1 year and they couldn't get a deal done with him. That's when he went out to Seattle.
Yeah.
So, all right. The last one. Thank you very much, MBG238. That's a great name.
Yes, it is.
I wouldn't mind if Detroit picked Sewell. The offensive lineman is ranked second in the draft. I don't think Sewell will be anywhere
He
near
won't be there.
number 7.
Maybe top 5, probably
Well,
top 3.
No, he'll be very much.
I mean, he could be going to the
board.
Jets at number 2.
Yeah, he will be very much gone by that time.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you for tuning in to the show. You know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl, your home of Detroit Lions news and rumors. And you can check out the show definitely over on bellyupsports.com. You can catch the audio version of the show over there. You can click the link below. If you don't go over there and you have a audio version of this show, will be in the description later on in the day. You can go check us out and you can listen to the show on some Skull Candy headphones. Skull Candy is a affiliate sponsor of us, and you can definitely click the link below to get some great deals on some Skull Candy headphones. All right, let's get into the news and rumors. Jim, what do you have first?
Well, we got 3 foundational players that the Detroit Lions can build on. This is from an article from Fansided, and that's our friends over there, John Macaroon and Eric Schlitt, I think are the guys over there. I'm not sure if they did this article, but those guys are friends of the show. So first up, Curt, who do we got?
All right, first up, we have Mr. T.J. Hockenson. All right, Lions fans raised an eyebrow or two when Detroit made yet another tight end draft in the first round. This time, I was T.J. Hockenson with the 8th overall selection in 2019. But after a mostly down rookie season, Hockenson matured into a Pro Bowler this past year, being underutilized in my opinion. The 23-year-old was targeted a whopping 101 times, becoming the favorite target of former Lions quarterback, well, soon to be Matthew Stafford. Hockenson racked up 67 receptions for 723 yards and 6 touchdowns in 2020. And entering the third year of his season, he figures to be the top target for incoming quarterback Jared Goff, and for any other young passers the Lions may decide to bring to Detroit. One thing, in my opinion, T.J. Hockenson had a really breakout year, being underutilized. Think how much. If they utilize him like they should have, he could have had a comparable season to the tight end out there in Kansas City to Kelsey.
Yeah, I agree. I think he was underutilized too, even though he was targeted 101 times. It doesn't seem like he was targeted that many times to me.
There's a very quiet 101 times.
Yeah, TJ's a beast.
Yeah, he is.
Number 2, Jeffrey Okudah, the cornerback that's hasn't performed yet. It's easy to be discouraged following cornerback Jeffrey Okudah's terrible rookie season. After all, he was selected 3rd overall in the 2020 draft and was touted to be a generational talent. They should have immediate impact. He did. He had immediate impact on the news. He had immediate impact on fans' anger. He had, he had immediate impact on the bench. Anyway.
Yeah.
Instead, Okudah looked like most rookie cornerbacks in their first season in the NFL, struggling to learn the scheme and catch up to the speed of the next level. Yet, Okudah also suffered from a lack of a true off-season program, no preseason games, and a complicated defensive scheme that even hardened veterans struggled to figure out. I also think that he was going through an injury that caused him to be slower.
Yep.
I think that they're right about the Patricia, thing. I think it's going to be much easier for him to learn the new scheme coming up. And I think they're going to fit it around him and some of the other guys there in the back on that back end. He's got Anthony Pleasant now. I think there's going to be a lot of good stuff. What do you think about Okudah?
Yeah. Well, Aubrey Pleasant coming in, and I like what Aaron Glenn said about this situation with Okudah. He says, I want him just to be the best version of him that he can be. Just play
like you say, every week, every day,
every day. And he just said, I don't want you to try to live up to the being the third overall pick. I just want you to live up to being the best, the best Jeff Okudah. And that takes some pressure off of him. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't want you to be you have to be the top guy. Just be the best, the best player that you can be. And a lot of times of rookies, especially in a situation where I think that came into the fray when he should have sat out last year or should have had a surgery in the offseason. But he kind of looked at that as I'm the number third overall pick, and I should be out there playing, where he should have been on the bench getting healed up from surgery for that groin injury.
Yep. Yeah. Let's see here. We got one more there, Curt.
Okay, we got my man Frank the Tank Ragnow, along starting left tackle Tyler Decker and an impressive rookie guard Jonah Jackson. Center Frank Ragnow represents one of the top up-and-coming offensive lines in the NFL. Their presence should also make the Motor City an ideal landing spot for any quarterback looking for high investments made along the offensive line. Ragnow was the Lions' first-round selection in 2018, and after spending his rookie seasons at guard, found his stride at center in year 2, elected to his first Pro Bowl in 2020, as well as being second-team All-Pro selection. Ragnow has established himself as an elite center in the league and the heart of the offensive line in the Motor City.
He's a beast.
He is a beast, and he's definitely somebody you can definitely build around. You can look at bringing in how they brought in Jonah Jackson to kind of build around him, kept Taylor Decker, re-signed him. Just got to solidify that right side of the line to make sure that, Frank can have some continued success in front of Jared Goff for this upcoming season.
Frank Ragnow, they need to be thinking about extending him really, really soon. I think he's up in 2022, if I'm not mistaken, something like that.
No, he has the 5 years. So he's 5 years because he was a first rounder.
So anyway, they really do need to do that if they haven't already. He is a beast. He's driven to succeed too. You can see when he makes a mistake, like he had something that he did wrong. I can't remember. Was it
that's a bad snap. I remember
snap.
That. It was a bad snap.
He was just disgusted with himself, and you could see it. The guy wants to win, and I think he's got the heart of a lion. I do. I really do.
Definitely.
Okay, 2021 Detroit free agent profiles. Duron Harmon. Will he fit the schematic change? I don't think he fit the team before, but we'll go through this and see. This is from Pride of Detroit, by the way. Good friend Jeremy Reisman with the mustache. Anyway, we'll go there. With a new coaching staff, it's unclear if there will be an interest in bringing Harmon back for 2021. I know I'm not interested whatsoever. Defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn expressed his excitement in working with the Lions secondary, hoping to put them in a more comfortable position than last year. However, Harmon's name was not mentioned among the bunch, and he shouldn't be. Even the two safeties that we have, good young players, I get a chance to mold those guys in exactly how I want them to play. But the key to whether Harmon sticks around is his fit in the new scheme. I don't think that's true. He can't tackle. And while we can't be positive what the Lions will be running defensively quite yet, considering the coaches are preaching players before scheme, there's certainly some hints about what they will do in coverage. My thing to this, I don't want him back. He practices social distancing tackling, where he kind of like runs around the guy for some reason instead of going after him and tackling.
Right.
I did not like Duron Harmon here. He is a ball hawk. If he could just play that, middle field thing, I think he'd be all right. But if he has to tackle anybody, forget it.
Yeah.
And he's not great in coverage.
Nah.
So I don't see why you bring him back.
Nah, I'm not a big fan of bringing Harmon back. Maybe he can find his niche somewhere else, maybe New England, where he came from. Maybe he can go back and play under Patricia over there. So maybe, he seemed to be well touted coming out of New England, but I just think maybe he wasn't meant to play in that scheme in Detroit.
I was excited for him because I thought that he was going to open up a lot of things, and he just didn't.
Did not happen. All right. So next up, let's look at another article from News and Rumors from Proud of Detroit. Shout out to the stash. Here is just say no. 4 free agents that the Lions should avoid. Who do you have first, Jim?
Todd Gurley.
Hey,
Gurley, of course. We talked about him the other day, and I wasn't that not sold on him. I actually kind of liked it. Gurley, of course, was scouted by new Lions general manager Brad Holmes, and with Kerryon Johnson's status seemingly up in the air, it's not hard to believe that the Lions would want to go full Georgia Bulldogs and pair Gurley with DeAndre Swift. But it's not a good idea. Gurley has been trended downward for some time now, which we'd love to sign those players anyway, so I don't see why that would be a problem. This past season, the Falcons practically gave up on Gurley halfway through the season. Week 11, he had no more than 9 carries and topped out at 26 yards. That's kind of an average day for our guys. The rest of the season wasn't too great either, other than a 121 game against the Panthers. Gurley's best game was an 80-yard game against the Bears. He fit right in. I mean,
yeah, that's it. I mean, he fits our scheme.
What we do.
That's what we do.
We had Adrian Peterson, right, as the old guy coming in. I mean, we've had all these old guys that came in, right, and some of them didn't even get to play.
Well, Anderson, Gurley is not that old. He's like 26.
I think it's too soon to give up on the guy, and I also think that he could do DeAndre Swift some good. I don't not like that one. So maybe I'm in the minority, but we don't really run the ball that well. Gurley. So he said he got 21 yards. That's better than most people that we have.
Yeah, we have we got 100-yard rusher once with DeAndre Swift this year. Yeah, that was it, right?
We had like 5 years where we didn't even have a 100-yard rusher. So that'd be welcome for me anyway. Okay, go ahead.
Next up, we got AJ Green. Ironically, AJ Green wears 18 as a reverse of Calvin Johnson's number, who was his idol growing up. Okay, and in 2020, his issues were health. So they were catching the ball. Green was targeted 104 times and only caught 47 passes. Well, you have to look at his quarterback recently went down as well. On top of all of that, he was on the wrong side of 30, and I've had a hard time seeing any team signing him. This should be an easy pass for the Lions. Yeah, with Joe Burrow going too. Yeah, Joe Burrow going down. He's not the same AJ Green as he was coming out of college. Coming out of the University of Georgia. I just don't see AJ Green, being a player that can make an immediate impact right now on the Lions.
I agree with that. The next name I got to agree with too, Patrick Peterson. Patrick Peterson, it's time to stop conjuring Patrick Peterson. He is no longer the players that Lions fan have always thirsted for since 2020. Or since the draft, remember? Because he was really good. He was like, I think he got picked 4th overall. If I remember.
Yeah, I remember the Lions really wanted him back when doing their draft.
They were trying to get a trade for him, but they couldn't pull it off. In 2020, Peterson had himself a pretty bad year. He allowed 50 receptions and earned a PFF grade of 55.2, which is probably better than anybody we have.
You got that Okuda grade.
How bad is that? It's only slightly better than the Lions' highest graded corner. Okay, so the highest graded corner on our team is still worse than the worst Patrick Peterson we've seen. Okay, got that. I get it. It was Armani Owarrior, I can never pronounce that guy's name, who graded out at a 50.4. While Peterson would still somehow be an instant upgrade over any of the Lions' other corners, Detroit cannot afford to settle for just that, especially after a year where the Lions field the worst defenses in franchise history. You know
Yeah.
what? After saying that, I think anybody would be okay except for True Fun.
Yeah.
I think that's the only
Yeah.
guy I don't think
PP.
I would want.
But the thing is that would you really pay? Because you're going to pay out the nose for Patrick Peterson. He's not going to
Maybe.
come. He's not going to come cheap. So, and I think I think we really want to get younger in the secondary. I don't think we need
I
to get
agree.
that much older. Yeah,
I agree.
that's an easy pass for me.
Yeah.
And the last guy we have is Marvin Jones Jr. I really don't think he was coming back anyway.
I don't either.
Bringing Jones back just doesn't feel right. The Lions are embarking on a rebuild and find themselves investing in the position to completely retool their receiving corps with the guys they could get separation and bring serious speed to the new offense. Marvin Jones isn't that guy. He's probably going to be more expensive than those guys anyway. For the younger guys, Jones is going to get paid decent money this offseason, and every dollar is that goes to him is a dollar that takes away from the Lions' chances of bringing back Kenny Golladay, or to sign some younger receivers. It's time to move on and try some new things. Now, I will say this: Marvin Jones had a really good season last year.
He did.
I think it is like, he's a little bit up there in age. I think he's 29, be 30 soon. So I just think it's time for the Lions to kind of move on from Marvin Jones. Sad though.
I'm a little torn on this because
he has some really productive
we got to
years
get
in
people
Detroit.
that have that get separation. So we want to bring Kenny Golladay back, who was basically the worst guy at getting separation.
Yeah. But
that makes no sense.
To Kenny Galladay's point, though, he's the one receiver in Detroit that doesn't have to get separation.
Because of the fact that his skills. And I get that he is better at one-on-one balls than about anybody. But Marvin Jones is a close second in my book.
Yeah, he is.
On a 50-50 ball. I like Marvin Jones actually a lot.
Yeah. And not to mention that Jones is clearly he wants to join Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, I think he's gone.
With the Rams. I think that, him being a California guy, being from that San Diego area, that Southern California area, he wants to go back home and join that California state and join Matthew Stafford. I think he really wants to join back up with Matthew out there.
Yeah,
and this is going to be an easy choice for him. I think he's really going to take less money to play for the Rams because he just wants to go back home.
Yeah, that makes sense to me too. And I think he'll enjoy the sunshine out there as well. So
definitely.
Question of the day is if Kenny Golladay is franchised, if that is true, how do you feel about it? Do you feel like it's a great thing that we got Kenny G back? Or do you think that in this rebuild, it kind of takes away money from other things that could have gotten done because of that, giving money to Kenny G? But I think we're saving money on him. I think it's okay. Cap is rumored to be 10 million more than we expected. So actually we're only paying 6 million more on the cap than we would have. So if you look at it that way, but that's the question of the day. If it's true, how do you feel about it? The Kenny G situation. And now it's time for my favorite part of the show. It's the dessert with Curt.
All right. It's time for some tasty morsels. And we're going to talk about Kenny Golladay. We're going to have on that theme today is Kenny Golladay. And the theme for that goes into where he landed on Touchdown Wire's top 101 free agents for the 2021 season. Kenny Golladay ranked at number 6 on the top 101 free agents by Touchdown Wire for the upcoming season. Now, here's the guys in front of him. At number 5, you have you have Chris Godwin, another wide receiver. Number 4, you have Lavonte David out of the Buccaneers linebacking core. Number 3, you have Justin Simmons, safety out of the Denver Broncos. Number 2, you have Allen Robinson out of the Chicago Bears. And the top free agent for the upcoming season is quarterback Dak Prescott of the Dallas Cowboys. So Kenny Golladay ranks 6 on the 101 top free agents for the upcoming season by Touchdown Wire. That is your dessert for today.
Oh, wow. That was a good one, Curt. And this is a good show. We really appreciate everybody rocking with us today. And thank you for being subscribers and doing all those things for us, showing up to the premieres. It's just not a whole lot of news. So we try to do the best we can to bring you Detroit Lions news, rumors, and reports and everything else that's going on in the world of Detroit Lions football. And now to close the show, here's my friend Curt.
Hey, you know who we are, people. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl. You're home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. And as always, join the family. Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget, you can join us weekdays, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on our channel, Monday through Friday, for the premieres of our show. Like the videos, comment on the videos, share the videos. All of that helps us get this content to more Lions fans just like yourself. And you can find our show, the audio version, over on bellyupsports.com. They have a big roster of podcasts over there. I think right now we're at like 42 podcasts on Belly Up. So you have a lot of different shows you can listen to over on that network. And you can have some, you can read some hard-hitting articles from some great writers over there on bellyupsports.com. And don't forget, if you want to listen to the audio version, you can do it on what? Some Skull Candy headphones. You can find a description for those headphones down below. Purchases from that link help go to grow us this show, and we really appreciate all you do to help us grow this channel and this show. Hey, it is off-season time. We got a lot of content coming to you, but we know it's a little bit, like you say, think of a little bit slow, but we ain't slowing down. We're gonna bring you some more content. We're gonna keep it going. So whatever you do in life and throughout your day, you know what you got to do. You got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. From my man Jim, right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl, this is Curt Steele, and we will holler at you real soon.